Quarantine Devos Part 1. The first prison epistle that we are going to be looking through is the book of Philippians. Now, one thing I would encourage you guys to do is before watching these videos each day, I want you to read the chapter that we're going to be talking about. The prison epistles are really short, and the hope is that by the end of our time together, you will actually have read through on your own 4 books of the New Testament, and that is awesome. So make sure you read them before you watch these. Back when Ari and I were engaged, we spent some time in Iowa. She had to do an internship for school, and we decided we really didn't want to do long-distance wedding planning. So I was going to come along. 2 guys let me live in their attic for the summer with no air conditioning. And I was just going to work, find a job, and save up some money for the wedding. I ended up getting a job at a shipping warehouse for Nordstrom. And it was a really good job. I did really enjoy it. But one of the coolest things about that job was I got to rub shoulders with and get to know all kinds of people who didn't know Jesus. It's very different than when you work inside of a church, and it was a really good opportunity. I got to develop those relationships. I got to give people rides. I got to take them out for burgers on our days off. And I was really just able to get to know them and share my faith with them in a very relational way. And it was a really awesome opportunity. By the time I left, everyone knew I was a Christian, and I was able to leave a good impression of Christians at that warehouse. Even though it wasn't necessarily my idea of fun, working 50 plus hours a week in a shipping warehouse, moving boxes in a giant building surrounded by miles and miles and miles of nothingness. Philippians 1:12-13 says, I was still able to use that what has happened to me to share the gospel has really served to advance the gospel, so that it's become known throughout the whole imperial guard and to all the rest that my imprisonment is for Christ. Paul was able to take his time under arrest and use it for the advancement of the gospel. He actually shared his faith with his prison guards. And the thing I want you to think about is, how can you use this time for the advancement of the gospel? I know some of you come from families where not everyone is a believer. Right now you're having unprecedented family time. You're spending more time with them now than you probably have for a long time. How can you use this to not only show them the peace that comes in troubled times from knowing Christ, but also how can you use it to share your faith with them? Maybe it's getting to know your neighbors. Neighbors are people we don't often interact with a lot, and this will give you an opportunity to do it. So don't waste this time. How can you use it for the gospel?